Newsom also continues to mimic Trump's style. He's now accusing Joe Rogan of having something he calls CDS.
What do you think he's talking about?
I don't know. I barely watched what you
The perception of it, the perception of California, the perception of some of the problems that face the state, and maybe how some of the people around the country might think.
I think there's a California derangement syndrome, and he's part of it. I mean, I think people are obsessed with focusing on what's wrong with the state and not what's right with the state.
Gavin Newsom just did the unthinkable. He fired back at Joe Rogan, and the internet has gone absolutely wild. The polished California governor versus the raw, no-filter podcast king. Who could have imagined this clash? It's like watching a luxury commercial fight a protein powder ad in real time. Rogan made his move, and Newsom's pride refused to stay quiet. What followed wasn't just a feud, it was digital chaos. Memes exploded, comments flew, and every corner of social media turned into a battleground of sarcasm and shock. People are calling it the most unexpected celebrity political face-off of the year. And honestly, they're not wrong. Just wait until you hear what started this fiery exchange, because this wasn't your typical political spat. It was a full-blown internet storm.
Los Angeles Times Panera would not be exempt from the law. The spokesperson also did not acclaim the Bloomberg piece, which cited sources close to the matter that Newsom pushed for an exemption that applies to businesses that bake bread and sell it as a standalone item, calling the report absurd. So is it a fake story?
Or is it something that they
might have corrected course
quickly? Yeah.
Yeah. Roll up to the top. So where's the initial report? Let's find the initial report.
Gavin Newsom has finally lost it. After months of pretending he didn't even know who Joe Rogan was, despite Rogan's face being plastered across memes, podcasts, and Reddit threads, California's golden poster boy couldn't take it anymore. The man who styles his hair like a Kennedy and governs like a social media algorithm trying to decide what's cool finally snapped. His patience evaporated faster than California's water supply. So he struck back, loud, dramatic, and dripping with attitude. And let's just say, when Newsom claps back, he doesn't whisper, he performs. His comeback wasn't subtle or strategic. It was theatrical, intense, and completely unforgettable.
The governor gave this creepy speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties.
While it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance like, I've been talking with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas, a speculator, we're going to have some meetings.
And the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
It's so cool.
If you're enjoying this takedown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And no, Gavin didn't respond with calm political charm. Not even close. He came out swinging like an influencer defending her favorite luxury skincare line during a live stream meltdown. It all kicked off the way these online explosions always do. With Joe Rogan doing what he's famous for, dropping a brutally honest comment, completely unfiltered and guaranteed to stir chaos. The moment it hit, everything spiraled. The reactions came in waves: outrage, laughter, disbelief, the works. The internet lit up like fireworks on the 4th of July, and there was no stopping it. People everywhere grabbed popcorn. Memes were born by the minute, and before anyone knew it, this feud had turned into pure viral gold. Gavin thought he could stay composed, but Rogan had already set the stage for an all-out digital brawl.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is challenging Joe Rogan to have him as a guest on his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. It started, of course, when Rogan took shots at the governor, saying he hasn't done a good job running California and wouldn't make a very good president.
comments made their way to Newsom, who has been governor of California for 6 years. He responded by using the chicken emoji to say that Rogan is too chicken to have me on his show. That's a quote. And he went to list on his state's accomplishments, saying, quote, California is the 4th largest economy in the world, #1 in manufacturing, farming, and new business starts. #1 for tech and venture capital investments. #1 in public higher education. I could continue. Invite me on anytime, Joe.
Rogan didn't hold a single punch. He went straight for California's biggest pressure points. He mocked the chaos, the homelessness, the high taxes, and even threw shade at Newsom's famously perfect hair. Normally, Gavin's polished PR squad would rush in to smooth things over with a carefully worded statement or a shiny photo op at a clean energy plant. But not this time. The governor had reached his limit, and his patience snapped like a Wi-Fi signal in a storm. He ditched the formalities and fired back, fueled by frustration and pride. It was as if the cool-headed politician had been replaced by a man tired of being everyone's online punchline. Rogan's jabs had hit too deep, and Gavin wasn't about to let the bald powerhouse from Texas make him look weak. What followed wasn't just a reply. It was a verbal showdown so intense that the internet practically vibrated with excitement. The sparks were flying, and this political feud had officially turned into must-see entertainment.
Expensive. It's too expensive to leave versus what you would save and the regulations that you wouldn't have to go through and all the bullshit with all the permits and all the... What California does is overregulate everything. They get as much government involved as possible. They suck as much tax money out of you as possible. And then they still leave the place a mess. They still have homeless people everywhere. It's still a disaster. It's still a woke shit show of virtue signaling at every level of the government. Still. Like, no course correction at all. They're going further and further into la-la land. And you're like, Jesus.
Gavin struck back, and it was pure theater from start to finish. You could practically picture him standing before a mirror, adjusting his tie, rehearsing every comeback like an actor, prepping for opening night. You've got this, Gavin. You're the governor. You've beaten recalls, billionaires, and online trolls before, he probably whispered to himself with that trademark grin. Every movement, every expression screamed confidence, but behind those sharp eyes burned the tension of a man on the edge. He wasn't just responding, he was performing. His tone carried that perfect blend of authority and irritation, his smile a mask hiding the storm brewing underneath. The press cameras flashed, the microphones surrounded him, and he knew the world was watching. Yet beneath the rehearsed calm, you could feel it, that flash of defiance waiting to erupt. Gavin wasn't just defending his image anymore. He was fighting to prove that California's golden boy could handle the heat of a digital battlefield.
Talks about California. It's like, you know, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. California has all this industry. Hey, fucko, they're all thinking about moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. If it was like every business could instantly pull up roots and replace everything and have everything running in a week at the other place, they'd all be gone.
When the moment finally came to face Joe Rogan's words head-on, Gavin went all in. But it felt more like a polished debate captain trying to roast a UFC fighter mid-match. Rogan's constructive criticism landed with the force of a flamethrower, while Gavin tried to respond with carefully scripted elegance. It was chaos versus choreography, and chaos was clearly winning. Rogan's latest jab hit the web, and Gavin's patience cracked faster than Californians packing their bags for Texas. His counter wasn't calm, it was a full-on showcase of political acrobatics. He twisted Rogan's harsh commentary into buzzwords about leadership, innovation, and the California dream, trying to spin a viral insult into an inspiring speech, but the internet wasn't having it. Within hours, the clips exploded everywhere, Rogan's fans cheering like it was fight night, while Gavin's defenders scrambled to explain what he really meant. But online, nuance doesn't matter. Memes do. And in this arena, Gavin had no control, only chaos.
Some of the success that they're hanging their hat on is his social media campaign where he talks like Trump.
It's no longer the rule of law. It's increasingly the rule of done.
So he's got a bunch of people from his organization that tweet for him, and they tweet like Trump, and they're saying this has elevated him in the public's eye. That's terrifying.
You've seen it across the board. People are scared to death of this guy.
He's starting to learn the internet sensibility.
It's the appalling silence. It's the complicity. You're seeing the most successful, wealthiest people scared to death of this guy.
Which is heavily trolling, does very well. What he has is a terrible rap.
And then, the memes hit like a digital tsunami. The internet went absolutely berserk, unleashing its full creative madness. Side-by-side edits flooded every platform, Rogan lifting heavy weights while Newsom proudly posed with a designer latte. One viral caption shouted, "Testosterone versus Tesla." Another meme glowed with Newsom's slick hair labeled, "Shine level weaponized." The chaos was glorious. Even Elon Musk seemed ready to join the fun, just to toss gasoline on the fire. What made it all so addictive was how different these two men are. Rogan, the primal, hunt, lift, challenge everything type, and Newsom, the polished, smoothie, strategy, self-improvement guy. It was raw grit versus refined gloss, and the contrast was cinematic. A modern-day gladiator brawling with a boutique CEO, and the crowd couldn't look away. This wasn't just politics anymore. It was meme warfare at its finest, and both sides were swinging hard for internet immortality.
That he says when he gets confronted with we're the highest this and the highest that. Like, everybody's leaving.
You will have a president who will be running for a third term. Mark my word.
You have the highest unemployment. You have the highest homelessness.
He doesn't believe in free enterprise, crony capitalism. He is wrecking this country, wrecking the economy.
You killed Hollywood. Like, Hollywood doesn't exist anymore.
Somehow, Gavin convinced himself he could actually win this war of words. He truly believed his polished politician charm could overpower Rogan's army of die-hard fans, the same confidence he shows every time he insists San Francisco is turning a corner. But the internet wasn't buying it. Within hours, digital battle lines were drawn. Rogan's followers mocked Gavin for being out of touch, while Newsom's loyal supporters praised him for standing up to misinformation, which basically meant, please stop roasting us. Meanwhile, Rogan didn't even need to reply. His fan base did the heavy lifting for him. Every subreddit, every podcast page, every comment section turned into a battlefield filled with memes and mayhem. They shredded Gavin's statements, twisting every phrase into viral punchlines. And the craziest part? Gavin probably thought he was winning, that he was standing tall as the voice of reason. But online, logic doesn't win. Laughter does, and the internet made sure to laugh loudly at his expense.
Which means it was preventable. You certainly prevent them from raging into the tragedy that they became.
Because that was a few months ago. People have short memories. They go, that tweet was fun. He did a post on X that was fun, and it doesn't matter that they let all the criminals out in California.
That was grotesque mismanagement. That could have been prevented. You can't prevent hurricanes, can't prevent floods, but you certainly can try and start reducing the moral hazard that we've allowed to explode, quite honestly.
He's bad. The people go so much further than him.
The dozens of people who've lost their lives, the hundreds of billions of dollars worth of property damage.
That's how bad the Democratic Party is right now.
That's the thing about polished politicians. They still believe the world runs on stage smiles and press statements. But Rogan, he thrives in the digital jungle, where confidence and chaos rule. And poor Gavin, humor isn't exactly his secret weapon. His idea of a joke is smiling politely while pretending he's unbothered by a storm of insults. Yet nothing amuses the internet more than someone pretending not to care when it's painfully clear they do. You could practically see the tension building, the forced grin, the stiff posture, the "I'm totally fine" energy, while his mind screamed, "Why am I arguing with a podcaster while my state's falling apart?" And then came the avalanche of memes, hilarious, brutal, and endless. Rogan sweating in a gritty gym. Newsom posing beside solar panels like a lifestyle brand ambassador. Texas flexed its open skies, while California flaunted traffic and $20 green juices. This wasn't politics anymore. It was an all-out lifestyle war, and the internet was eating it up.
So you can't ruin a city and then go on to ruin a state and say, guys, that was just practice. Once I get it as a president, I'm going to fix it.
Wake up, America. Wake up. You will not have a country if he rigs this election. He's a lawless president. Wake up, America. Wake up to what's going on.
But he's such a great politician. I mean,
No,
he's
not.
so smooth.
I think he's terrible. And he's a good artist.
Well, I think it's pretty sick and pathetic. Everything you know about Donald Trump's America, and that was top down, you know that for a fact. Everything you know about the authoritarian tendencies of the president of the United States.
It's, there must be something to it. And it's so hard with that guy because when you just look at the way he praised Biden, I would never run against him. A man of character. You know, like I'm old school. It's, God, it's like he's playing someone in a movie that's a crazy person. It's like that's how like a really good actor would play a complete crazy person who's insincere enough.
Gavin doubled down, throwing out words like innovation, progress, and California is the future. And the irony was painful. Half that future already lives in Austin, escaping San Francisco's rent prices. Every time he mentioned leadership, the internet clapped back with clips of tent cities and sky-high costs. But here's what made this feud iconic. Rogan and Newsom are total opposites, yet strangely alike. This wasn't just politics, it was performance art. A war between gritty realism and glossy perfection. The memes crowned the winner long before the debate ended. Things went nuclear when Gavin's team started calling his response brave, as if clapping back at a podcaster made him a national hero. It's like a CEO bragging about answering a customer complaint. You couldn't make it up. This was entertainment disguised as leadership, a Hollywood-level showdown that proved one thing. The internet doesn't reward power, it rewards personality. And Rogan had that in spades.
Why would Bloomberg spread bullshit? Bloomberg is a financial paper, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's not something...
I don't think it would be,
You really can't do that if you're running a financial paper. It's not like the New York Times. The New York Times can say Israel bombed the hospital and 500 people are killed and put it on the front page, even if it's not true. And everybody just assumes it's true because it's the New York Times. But they can kind of get away with that. And then they still exist.
It drives you crazy that people still speculate that you're waiting in the wings to run for president. I know it's not going to happen. You know it's not going to happen. But what do you think is fueling that speculation?
I don't know. I don't think much anymore. And I'm so proud of the president and the incredible job he did. Didn't surprise me at all. And I know it didn't surprise you. I really believe that. I said to my friend the other day, I said, you know, on this age, we can get into debates around fitness. Look, I'd rather have 80 years behind me than those 88 federal criminals.
Rogan didn't even break a sweat. He laughed it off on his next show, brushed it aside like it was just another Tuesday, and kept rolling. For him, it was pure entertainment, but for Gavin, it spiraled into a full-blown PR disaster. That's the difference between them. Rogan thrives in chaos, while Gavin desperately tries to control it. And on the internet, control doesn't win. Chaos does. Soon, parody videos took over every platform. Clips of Rogan and Newsom spliced together with dramatic music, labeled things like The Great California Smackdown or The Bold and the Beautiful. Even late-night hosts couldn't resist. They joked about protein powder versus hair gel, calling it the ultimate culture clash, CrossFit versus crosswalks. By week 2, Gavin's team was avoiding Rogan's name like it was a curse word. The tragic twist. His bold clapback, meant to make him look powerful, only reminded people why he frustrates them. Too polished, too rehearsed, too perfect to be real.